Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to His Transform. It's your boy here, geeking out over the latest tech showdown that's got the whole smartphone world buzzing. Today we're talking about Apple's fresh off the stage A19 Pro chip from the iPhone 17 event. Man, Apple events always feel like a big reveal, right? Lights, hype, and then the specs drop. But right after, these benchmark scores leaked, and whoa, it's not all sunshine for Apple this time. Android's heavy hitters like Qualcomm and Samsung are flexing hard with their upcoming chips, and it's turning into a real battle. Let me break it all down for you in super simple terms, no tech jargon overload, just like we're hanging out and chatting about our favorite phones. Grab a snack, because we're going long on this one. Let's dive in. All right, starting from the top. Apple's iPhone 17 just got unveiled, and the star of the show under the hood is the A19 Pro. This is their newest system on a chip, or SoC, basically the brain and heart of the phone that handles everything from swiping through apps to crunching heavy graphics in games. It's built on this crazy advanced 3nm process from TSMC, which is like shrinking everything down to make it faster and more efficient without sucking the battery dry. Compared to last year's A18 Pro, which was already a beast, the A19 Pro bumps up single-core performance by about 13%. Single core? That's when the chip focuses on one task at a time, like launching Instagram super quick or processing a photo edit without lag. It's impressive, but not like mind-blown levels, you know? And that's because the A18 Pro was already on a similar tech node, second gen 3nm, so the jump isn't massive. Apple's playing it smart, refining what works instead of reinventing the wheel every year. But here's where my jaw dropped a little bit. In multi-core tests, where the chip multitasks like a pro, think running a game while downloading files, editing a video, and browsing the web all at once, the A19 Pro kinda hits a wall. It's got solid scores, like 3,895 in single-core and 9,746 in multi-core on Geekbench 6, which is this popular benchmarking app everyone uses to compare phones. But Apple seems to be prioritizing efficiency over raw power. Why? So your iPhone doesn't turn into a hand warmer or die after a couple hours of use. I get it, battery life is king for most of us, right? Who wants a phone that's fast but needs charging every 2 hours? Still, it means they're leaving some speed on the table, and that's where Android steps in like a challenger in a boxing ring. Now, let's talk Android side. Qualcomm with their Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 and Samsung's Exynos 2600. These aren't even fully out yet, but early tests are wild. First, the Snapdragon. They tested an underclocked version, meaning they dialed back the speed on purpose, running the big performance cores at 4.00 GHz instead of the full 4.74 GHz blast on what looks like a prototype Galaxy S26 Edge. Even slowed down, it smashed 11,515 in multi-core, beating the A19 Pro by a solid 18.2%. That's huge, guys. Like, imagine your phone handling intense workloads 18% faster. But flip side, in single core, it trails by 12.9%. So Android wins the multitasking crown here, but Apple keeps the edge in snappy, everyday feels. Then there's Samsung's Exynos 2600, which is rumored to be their first chip on a 2nm process with this fancy GAA tech, basically even tinier and more efficient transistors. It competes neck and neck with that underclocked Snapdragon in multi-core, edging out the A19 Pro by 15.5%. But again, single core, it lags by 15%. I'm sitting here thinking, Samsung, you're back in the game. Remember how Exynos chips used to get roasted for being slower than Snapdragons? Not anymore, apparently. What really gets me excited and a bit curious is how this flips the script from a few years ago. Back then, tech folks were like, Android will never catch Apple's A-series chips. Apple's silicon was untouchable, especially in single core, where it's still the undisputed champ. No one's closing that gap anytime soon from what I see. It means iPhones feel buttery smooth in real life, like scrolling through feeds or switching apps without a hitch. But Android's catching up fast by throwing more cores at the problem. Apple's sticking to a 6-core setup, 2 big powerful ones and 4 efficient ones, to keep things balanced and power sipping. Meanwhile, Snapdragon rocks 8 cores and Exynos goes all out with 10. It's like comparing a nimble race car that's fuel efficient to a truck with a massive V8. The truck hauls more but might guzzle gas. If Apple switched to 8 or 10 cores, oh man, we'd be having a totally different convo. Their scores would skyrocket, but maybe at the cost of that legendary battery life. Don't get me wrong though, these are just synthetic benchmarks. Geekbench is great for numbers, but it's not the full story. Real-world tests are what count. How does the iPhone 17 hold up in long gaming sessions on Call of Duty? Does the Galaxy S26, whenever it drops, overheat during 4K video editing? Or does the Exynos make Samsung phones fly through multitasking without draining the battery? I'm dying to see those reviews roll in. Efficiency matters too. Apple's chips are wizards at sipping power, so even if Android wins on paper, your day-to-day might feel better on iOS. Guys, this stuff fires me up because it shows how competitive the phone game is getting. No one's resting. Qualcomm and Samsung are pushing boundaries, closing gaps we thought were permanent. But Apple's not slacking. They're just betting on smarts over brute force. What do you think? Is Apple too conservative, or is their efficiency focus the smart play? Team iPhone or Team Android in this chip war? Drop your hot takes in the comments. I love reading them and might shout some in the next vid. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, share with your tech buddies, and subscribe for more. We've got reviews, unboxings, and comparisons coming up. Thanks for watching, stay awesome, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.